I'll be honest with you, there are many magical and popular methods over the internet how to learn the fretboard, but in my opinion most of them are 100% bullshit that focus only on your eyes, on patterns and calculating. By using them as a low effort shortcuts, you will have to learn twice. Firstly fast then wrong, and then hopefully after years of frustration you will find a correct way. To be on the right page, you need to know that your goal is not to see the notes over the fretboard, but to feel them under your fingers. Just like when reading sheet music, you look here, not there. How to achieve it? Let me show you the fun way. Grab your guitar. All exercises will be based on limiting the range of the guitar to make them simple and effective. Later I'll give you some interesting ideas, but for now you need to know that all 12 notes in one octave can be found on one string up to 12 fret or 3 strings, 5 frets. When practicing, we have to impose such ranges, because if we play freely over the entire fretboard, our lazy brains will lead us to places that we perfectly know. And this gives no result. If this video is your first contact with notes over the fretboard, be sure to download my free PDF supplement that you can find in the video description. It's about absolute basic music theory and how to figure out where are the notes. I promise you it would be fun, so what's more fun than playing music? We're gonna use backing tracks from the internet to learn the fretboard. Our goal is to play only root notes of the chords. So for example, what does it mean? When the backing track plays C major, we have to find C. When it's A minor 7, we have to play A. When it's G7, flat 9, sharp 5, we only focus on G. The root is in the name, so you don't have to know any music theory for that. Let me show you. You can use any backing track found on the internet, but my favorite ones are with listed chords and animated chord progressions. You can find them in my video description. If it's difficult for you at this stage, that's totally normal. You have to take your time, figure out the chords, figure out where the root notes are in our range, play it a few times, then play the backing track and try to figure it out in a proper tempo. I highly recommend to repeat and speak the name of the notes when playing. So for example, C, A, F, G, F sharp, G sharp, and so on. If you wanna enjoy this exercise more, you can improvise with the rhythm like that. When you achieve perfect accuracy, it's time to change a range or a backing track. So play different notes or try different strings. When you master a few small ranges, you can now glue them together and play in, for example, full first position. So the same chords, but you have to use all 6 strings. When you play by ear, try to figure out the chords from your favorite piece and then use this exercise. If you are more fluent guitarist, you can improvise using this exercise. The rule is when the chord changes, hit the root note, but between chords you can play anything that works for you. haven't got any ideas for improvisation at this point, that's totally fine. Try my approach that I called the approach notes approach. When I have to hit a F note, for example, I don't play only F, but I use a few chromatic passing tones. For example, E, F, or G flat F, or G, G flat F. This is how it sounds. Like a Pink Panther theme, this is how it sounds with a backing track. If you are more into music theory, you can play this exercise with different chord tones. For example, thirds, fifths, sevenths, or color tones, seconds, fourths, sixths, and so on and so forth. This way you'll be more confident in playing over the changes, and that's very important when improvising. You can learn the fretboard without the guitar in your hand, for example when traveling, during the break at school, etc. In my opinion, it's very important that such exercises have musical context, so for this purpose I made a special workbook for guitarists. You'll find there a lot of tasks to perform. You will learn not only the fingerboard but also the most important structures in music: chords, scales, keys, and so on. I highly recommend to memorize as much stuff as possible. For example, when you learn the C major chord, this one, it's really nice to not only know the shapes, for example, this shape, this shape, this shape, and so on and so forth, but to know that those are three notes, C, E, G, that you can find on entire fretboard. C, E, G, E, G, C, G, C, E, G, C, E, G, C, E, and so on. An obvious way to become so proficient is to read sheet music. I highly recommend this book, A Modern Method for Guitar from Berkeley. It will make you a great reader from scratch. Remember that watching YouTube videos about learning the fretboard won't make you a better guitarist. You have to work on that. You have to practice, be consistent. I think when you start thinking notes, not frets, you'll become a fretboard master faster than you think. In the meantime, check out my free improvisation course from scratch and my full technical lesson about fingering, pressing strings like a pro. Subscribe and have fun!